ask you guys, the gods. I'm going to start with you. Who's winning this game? What's this theory?
Ourselves right into a 5v5 smoke initiation. It's going to be T1. You get the initial jump, but the Inks will retaliate from jabs on the Brewmaster. Not going to connect it. Both teams just kind of looking to disengage, but the torrent from Cuckoo going to catch two. Armel also trying to get himself out of there with the dissimulate, and it looks like no casualties early on. A lot of spells being thrown. Warning shots. We're safe for now, Sheepo.
I sense distortions in the void.
I don't believe it.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
This is good for him to buy halberd. If they knew what was good for them, they would run. Like so many resources were taken down there to do that. And the most you get really is like that they aren't carrying more. There's no honor in failing.
My timelines.
Take the safe, take the safe, take the
Oh, they've got the Brewmaster. They need to burst him before he pops that Primal Split. Have they got the damage with the Torrent and the Ghost Ship? I believe they do. Sonic Wave to make sure of it. They knew this time around Jabs had a Primal Split, so they had to try and burst him fast, and they did just that, but they lose the tower, kill the Brewmaster, and Fnatic say, okay, we'll just back off.
game will come down on what
Gonna let me live, and they look to turn this one with the Primal Split. Gabby, this time around, no single kill. That's not like an objective or a team fight. They have no interest in team fighting right now. They're just farming up on Raven. Raven just, you know, he's doing Raven things. He's hitting up the jungle. He's gonna go straight into that Desolator, and we'll see if T1 can do a good job punishing this one. They found Jabs down in their own jungle. Without a Primal Split, I'm not sure they've got a good way to keep Jabs alive, and top lane is working a bit better for him. And you know, like you kind of mentioned, getting a bit too big for his britches after the, you know, the previous two ganks he just rage TP'd out, so perhaps he's like, okay, let's go on the aggressive for a while. Learning his lesson, as another kill going to go the way of T1. This time in the mid lane again, it's Jabs.
This Orchid is just like frightening as long as T1 gets the jump.
Yeah. And unlike T1, like, for T1, if they were facing this, they have a disruption save. But this time around, Fnatic will get the jump in the mid lane, but there's the disruption save. You go in a hero, disruption is there, but he does get caught by the pull as he comes out, but the Queen of Pain gets bailed out, and now the Ghost Ship rolling in as well. They've taken out the Void Spirit. Raven's gonna get low. He's got the reincarnation to give him a second life here, but will Fnatic have the firepower to take this one? They've gone in with the Primal Split. Jabs trying to zone them out, and now with Raven following them up, they may have enough damage, but a great infest as they go into the Mirana. They need to finish her off to get the life stealer, but looks like Zephyr's going to get back to safety, and with the Queen of Pain finishing off the back lines, suddenly it's a 5 versus 3. Cuckoo for himself advantage into Torrent. They get the Brewmaster. They've gotten 3. Great execution there for that team fight for T1. Just come up. Their items are pretty far away. Like that Hags on Brewmaster, not really particularly close. Void Spirit, he's going to have a Sanjin Kaya, but he's still very vulnerable. Gets caught by the X. Yeah, this is the problem. The Orchid's there, the Ghost Ship follow-up, and Armel gets picked off. Little smoke rotation from T1. They were, I think, looking for some bigger fish to fry, but they do catch out the poor Grimstroke. But I think good news for Fnatic is that didn't catch a court, but there's still potential for Armel to get caught here in the mid lane. He gets disrupted. Bolt could come in, but Raven's just blinked on the Shadow Demon, instantly deleting him. The arrow going to come flying through, but the Orchid on the Wraith King not going to do a whole lot except stop him from throwing out another stun, which is still on cooldown. Fnatic Maybe looking for another follow-up initiation. The Blink Wraith King coming up in a couple of seconds, and he's found the Mirana with Armel following it up, and they're going to catch Zephyr as well. So T1, you know, seemingly momentum favoring them and making all the right moves to win these fights and get most of these kills. Then they have quietly got themselves this Ag Scepter. They've got that Armlet Esso and Wraith King, and they're ready to fight. They finished the Ag Scepter on Brewmaster as well. They jump in with Raven. They found the Shadow Demon. That's the big target they want to kill off first, but can they do this with the Infest to heal him up a little bit? They get the Soulbind as well, and the damage is just there to finish him off. Raven is going to lose his first life on the Wraith King. Shadow Demon even going to buy back to try and make sure this fight goes well from the Sonic Wave. A complete whip from Carl. As both teams, I believe, going to look to disengage with the Shadow Demon buyback. It seems like Fnatic are happy just to respect T1's strength here and disengage for the time being.
That's a shame. They don't have vision, so it's really hard playing like blindly there.
It was worth it.
Be in the front lines. He's got a disruption behind him, and it looks like T1 catch wind of what's going on here. Maybe Zephyr going to be the one getting caught out on the Mirana. Goes for the TP out, but he's been caught by the Inkswell stun, and Raven, Wraith King able there to finish him off. Yeah, outside of the Wraith King, they don't have a good way. Maybe the Ag Scepter on Void Spirit changes that. See Raven here on the front lines, gets bandaged up, but he's got backup right behind him. Armel jumps on the back lanes. He's looking for the White Mon Shadow Demon. He wants to take out the sports to start this fight, and he'll do just that. Armel could be in some trouble. He's being demonic purged here, and Gabby's lifesteal trying to finish him off. Armel gets out of there with the Astral Step, and they've also taken out one more. Raven's Wraith King doing a bit too much damage for them to handle. Here's the Ghost Ship going to come flying through, mistimed on a DJ's Weaver, so he'll Shakuchi himself out of there. Another time lapse in 1 second, so he's got that extra bit of save there as Cuckoo goes for the BKB TP out. Nothing to cancel that. Same story. Precursor for how the entire game will go. Yeah, they'll 5v5 and no one will die. Fnatic say, okay, well, don't worry, we got you, Sheepo. We'll show you some kills. Gabby, oh my god, he's gonna life his way through. There's a boat catches 3. T1 with a sick turnaround. The Kunkka from Cuckoo blows up jabs, and he's looking for Armel next, whose BKB is still on cooldown. Does get himself back to the low ground, and says it's going to be Grimstroke taking a spill, and that should be able to set up T1 to secure themselves Roshan. What a turnaround coming out from Cuckoo's Kunkka. Cuckoo, they go in on the Kunkka, but gets bailed out by the disruption here. Raven, the front line's doing some good damage here, but now Gabby and the life steal's rocked out. Carl gets a nice Sonic Wave through them all, and that's going to bring down Armel. His Void Spirit goes down, and Fnatic just don't have the damage to get these kills, not against the disruption save, and they're going to lose more with the Grimstroke going down as well. DJ trying to get himself back to safety, finds a nice spot to TP out from. For a reset, look for another catches. One, not fully backing off here. They are looking to keep the pressure on and maybe force his Void Spirit to buy back. Armel going to hold on to it for now. They're going to go again. They're going to put Gabby on the high ground with that Solar Crest and Armlet, just doing what he can to bring down this melee Raxin. Pressure's now on. Jabs has those primal splits if he wants to use them. He popped the refresher and everything. Doing some decent damage to Gabby's first life, but with the Aegis to play around, they're just going to get a full lane of Rax for free, and they're going to swing themselves top. They've sort of a minute and a half, and Fnatic may just find themselves going down a second lane here unless they can buy time to take a fight with this Void Spirit respawn. They go in with the Raven Wraith King. He blinks in, but they don't have the damage for Gabby just yet. He's getting low. Can they do this one? He turns with the Rage. He's just life-saving his way through this one, and they just take out the Wraith King. His first life goes down. They may be going to be able to kill him a second time. He can't get the BKB off, and they lose Wraith King. Raven's down. T1 going to go for the Rax now, it looks like. His jabs on the front line with the Primal Split. Armel respawn, but the disruption saves are there to bail out the Mirana for now. Leap out as well to keep him alive, and Armel just forced a BKB and watch his teammates die. Cole jumping in the backline. Januel, he's got absolutely nothing to get this Queen of Pain off of him, and Carl is going to clean up the backlines. He's godlike, and T1 are just crushing Fnatic in these team fights. They get that second lane of Rax, but more importantly, they force multiple buybacks, get some key kills, and find themselves GG. It's over, Shifa.